Hello everybody, my name's Snugglebot and welcome back to Storytime with Snugglebot. We're coming at you with another episode of Doki Doki Literature Club. And if you guys don't remember, what Storytime with Snugglebot means is that the game's pretty much primarily text-based and I'm gonna talk and I'm gonna read. I'm gonna try to pull in those skills that I learned back when I was a wee little tyke in elementary and stuff and not fumble through the words. Pretty much if I mess up a phrase and I go back and say it, you're just gonna have to deal with it. I'm not gonna take the time to cut that out because there's a lot of text that goes through it. Hopefully I'm an adult though and I can read this without much of a problem. I'm gonna take my shoes off though to get a little bit more comfortable here. Alright, there we go. Alright, so if you don't remember Doki Doki, it's essentially we got invited to be part of this literature club and now we're going to write a poem to try to impress one of these lovely ladies. So if I had to pick an anime waifu out of the three options down here on the left, I can't do the best friend thing. She's too in my face about it. I don't know if I can handle the lolicon life. Lolicon life is not for me. Not really my palette of choice. So we're gonna go ahead and go with Yuri. I think she's right up my alley. She's tall and I'm also tall, so it won't be like awkward size difference, right? For both her and myself, it'd be good for her to be with a tall person. That and I like her reservedness, but then that confidence that comes out when she's talking about something she loves. So we're gonna try and impress Yuri. So Graveyard, she liked horror. Look at her hop up and down. I think that's how we'd tell who wins. Universe, hop, Destiny ribbon, sadness. Oh, she liked sadness. Does that take no bearing whatever? Parfait, lollipop. Let's go with whisper. Ooh, whisper is very. I don't know if it actually makes a difference. She's looking pretty down still. Together, variance, dance, contamination. We're gonna use that one. That's a good one. Suicide. Oh, she liked the suicide. That's not good. Dark. She likes the dark apparently. Death. She also likes death. I think we already knew that. I might have been messing it up. I might not be getting with Yuri because of how good I'm doing with the other characters. Misery. She likes misery as well. What? I thought I was picking out. Okay. Let's secretive. There we go. Unrequited. No. Dang it. Misfortune? No. Oh man. Rain clouds. Oh, melancholy. There we go. Back with Yuri. Let's see here. What's a good one? Bouncy. She likes bouncy. I should have known better. Agonizing. There we go. Philosophy. She likes the philosophy. Frightening. There we go. Extraordinary. Tenacious. Treasure. No. Romance. Fluffy. Judgment. Judgment. There we go. Uncontrollable. Perfect. See, we're in it. Incongruent. Yes, I think we got more Yuri jumps than everybody else, so I think... Hi again, Snugglebot. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but I at least keep my word. Well, I'm back at the literature club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Snugglebot. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. I know she was being nice, but that was a way to put that. Oh, come on! Like he deserves any slack. Sayuri told me you didn't even want to join any clubs this year. Wow, someone's put me on blast. And last year, too. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what. But if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. Exposed! Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature! Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plots back into her seat. Don't worry, guys. Snugglebot always gives it his best as long as he's having fun. He helped me with busy work without me even asking. Like cooking, cleaning my room. How dependable. Sayori, that's because your room is so messy, it's distracting. And you almost set your house on fire once. Is that so? I really like, for some reason in anime and stuff when they do this, I don't know, I find it I like it. I think it's a cool little gesture. I used to do that from time to time. You two are really good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous. How come? You and Snugglebot can become good friends too. Sayori? As usual, Sayori seems oblivious to the weird situation she just put me into. Oh, Yuri even brought you something today, you know. Well, wait, Sayori? Huh? Me? Not really. Don't be shy. It's really nothing. What is it? Never mind. Sayori made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. What do I do? I'm sorry, Yuri. I wasn't thinking. I guess that means it's up to me to rescue the situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place. Oh, that's a dumb thing to say there. That's the worst thing to tell them in this situation, Snugglebot. Come on, get your game together. So any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what. Okay, he recovered it at the end. That's fine. Is that so? Yeah, I won't make a big deal if you don't want it to be. All right. Well, here. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out. So I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention even if you don't usually read. And we could, you know, discuss it if you wanted. This is... How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Whew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expect Monica to kick off some scheduled activity for the club. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Sayori and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more. But at the same time, I would feel bad for distracting her from her reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. It looks like the same book that she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me. Our eyes meet for a split second. But it only makes her hide her face deeper in the book. I like the musical change. It's cute. Sorry. I was just spacing out. I mutter this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed it in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so... That's the book you gave me, right? Mm-hmm. I wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason. Just curious how come you have 2 copies of the same book? Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday, that's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy 2 of them. Ah, I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decided to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging, relatable story. Is that so? What's it about anyways? Well, Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover. Alright. I just wanted to make sure I don't accidentally give anything away. Basically, it's about this girl in high school who moves in with her long-lost younger sister, but as soon as she does so, her life gets really strange. She gets targeted by these people who escaped from a human experimental prison. And while her life is in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships and her life starts to fall apart. That's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came from nowhere. Yuri gently giggles all of a sudden. Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Snugglebot? No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy these kinds of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri was into these things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just that those kinds of stories, they challenge you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because they have their own goals or their own philosophy that they believe in. Then suddenly, when you thought you're related to the protagonist, they're made out to be the naive one for letting their one-sided morals interfere with the villain's plans. I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writings fill my thoughts, I kind of forget to pay attention to others. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange, and please stop me if I start talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I could do is listen. It's a literature club after all. That's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? You don't have to. What are you saying? Just a moment ago you said you were looking forward to it. Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I had put into my bag. Alright, it's fine if I sit here, right? I slipped into the seat next to Gary. Oh, my boy! Showing him how it's done, Snugglebot. Yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not used to. That is, reading in company with someone. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. Alright. I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri's in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry. It was just... Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I do. I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean... Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's, then hold my book more between the two of us. I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the pages. Here. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefingers. I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way, I turn a page and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? Huh? To turn the page. Sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again, and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me. Yeah. Thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she's finished the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue to the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey Yuri, this might be a silly thought, but The main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. You think so? How does she? Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways, but she also second guesses all the things that she says and does. Like she's afraid she'll do something wrong. It's not like I can see into your head or anything, but they're kind of reminiscent of some of your mannerisms. I see. Yuri remains silent for a moment. But Snugglebot, that's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. That's so embarrassing that you think that. Wait! I didn't mean it in a bad way or anything. Sorry, I really didn't know you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. I guess it's more meant that it's kind of cute. What are you saying all of a sudden? Okay, everyone! Huh. I think it's about time we shared today's poems with each other. We might not have enough time if we wait too long. Yuri exhales spared from finishing her thought. Is that alright, Yuri? You look kinda down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this. It's fine. Yuri releases her hand from the book, causing it to close on top of my thumb. Alright. I guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you prefer I only read it with you? I guess I don't have too much of a preference either way. In that case, I'll read a little more tonight. It'll be more fun to read with you after it picks up a bit, you know? That's good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the first 2 chapters in your own time. Alright! I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then slip it back into my bag. By the way, did you remember to write your poem last night? Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I'd never really done this before. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? I can't wait! Sayori and Monika enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayori is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monika wrote hers down in a composition book. I can already see Monika's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. And this music is so on point. I need to find the soundtrack to this and just have it for working music, because I could definitely see myself editing or doing some drawings to this. Alright, so let's start with Monika. Let's start with the class president. I should start with Monika. Yesterday she seemed eager to read my poem, and I wanted her to know I'm putting in effort. That's right. Wanted to know. Hi, Snugglebot. Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good. Glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the clubs, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course, I'd be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyways, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry, Snugglebot. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But it's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monika my poem. Great job, Snugglebot. I was going ooh in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I'll give her deep. I guess I underestimated you. It's easier for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way I always count when I put some effort in. That's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyways. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that full of imagery and symbolism. Unlike Sayori, who likes using simple and direct words to describe happiness and sadness. Yuri likes it when readers are left to derive their own meaning out of it. It's very challenging to write like that effectively, both allowing people to get something out of it, just by filling, or letting them deeply analyze all the nuances. I could take years of practicing while I'm assuming Yuri has had this point. I never really asked, though. I'm sure I'm nowhere near her level yet. Don't worry so much about that. You do your own thing. Just keep exploring and learn by trying new things. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. I could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. That's okay. I love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find that kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little bit biased towards their own kind of style, but I'll always help you find what suits you the most. So don't force yourself writing the way everyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Anyways, you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, it's not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims not to be very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? I see. Well, let's read it then. Hole in wall. It couldn't have been me. See the direction the spackle protrudes? A noisy neighbor? An angry boyfriend? I'll never know. I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No! I can't. I reel, blind, like a film left out in the sun. But it's too late. My retinas already scowled with the permanent copy of meaningless images. It's just a little hole. It wasn't too bright. It was too deep, stretching forever into everything. A hole of infinite choices. I realize now that I wasn't looking in. I was looking out, and he, on the other side, was looking in. Oh! 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 Someone had a peephole! Someone had a peephole in the apartment wall. That's, Alright, Monica. You's a freak. Oh, I didn't read that. So what did you think? I think is what she said. It's very free form. Isn't that what you called it? Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performing out loud, it can be really powerful. What was that inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyways, here's Monica's tip of the day. Sometimes, when you're writing a poem, or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. You're welcome, Monica. So it sounds like Monica is going to kind of be this strong center, kind of like Alfred is to Batman. She's gonna let me know, give me tips and pointers on what to do for which of the three ladies I want to swoon. Which I think is a necessary character so that you can get some hints on the game to go where you want to go. Alright, so let's go with Sayori next. And then we'll do Yuri last. This is a good poem, Snugglebot. Are you sure it's your first time? Of course. It's not that good. Am I the kind of guy who would be writing poems in his spare time? I guess you're right. But that's why I'm impressed. But that's why it impresses me. Well, to be honest, I was afraid that you wouldn't do it seriously, or that you wouldn't write one at all. Oh, that's her voice. That's my bad. I'm really happy just that you wrote one. It just reminds me of how you're really a part of the club now. Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club room. Well, of course. I'm not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean I'll break my promise. See? It's like you said before, Snugglebot. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know? Trying new things like this for other people, that's something that only really good people do. Thanks, Sayori. I'm I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motivation here. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined, knowing how much this means to her and all. Yeah, and I'm going to make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? This will be my way of thanking you. Alright, I'm going to hold you to that then. Yay! Now, I'll read my poem too, right? Don't worry. I'm really bad at this. Well, we'll see about that. Dear sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you missed me. Kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? I look above, the sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever. But I'm not mad. I want breakfast. Sayori? This is just a guess, but did you wait until morning to write this? No! Just a little bit. You can't answer just a little bit to a yes or no question. I forgot to do it last night. Well, at least that makes me feel a little better about myself. Don't be mean. I still tried my best. Yeah. I didn't mean to say that it was a bad poem. It came out nice, or how should I put it? It sounds just like you. Really? Yeah. Especially that last line. I made eggs and toast! Even though you were late to school? It's bad to skip breakfast. I get all cranky. Well, I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyways, thanks for showing me. That was so much fun. Monika's the best. Yeah. But next time, I won't forget, and I'm gonna write the best poem ever. Well, I guess I look forward to it. Alright, so next on the list is Natsuki. What is going on, girl? Snugglebot, if you're not going to take this club seriously, then go home. What? Harsh. What? You expect me to believe that you actually put effort into this? Do you think I'm stupid? I'm not a writer. Maybe it's not very good, but yeah, I did put effort. We all start somewhere, right? If you're still proud of the first poem you ever wrote, then I'd like to read it. Painful to think about? Fine. Well, sorry. You'll get better anyways. I tell you what's to improve, but you're better off just trying again. Fair enough. Well, to each their own, I guess. Anyways, I gotta share mine now. Knowing you, you'll probably think it's stupid. Eagles can fly, monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can seek, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try, but that's about it. Yeah, I told you that you weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff, so people don't even take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of the poem for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly! I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem. See, everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the only nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line. So you did. I guess more went into this than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did ya? Yeah, guess not. I just decided to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. Alright, time for my girl, Yuri. As Yuri reads the poem, I noticed her eyes lighten. Exceptional. What was that? Did I say that out loud? Yuri first covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face. He's going to hate me. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experiences do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphor indicates you've written a lot of poetry before. Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really. Huh? Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. Well, I know that. I just meant, Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her fingers along the words in the poem as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah, okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that usually typically of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick up a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form-fit the two together. The end result is that both the style and the expressive are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone, and she sounds like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different styles and techniques that going into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice, and learning by example, and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in this club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a bit biased, though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily as if that's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Oh god, cursive. Okay. Alright. Ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow. Bathing. It must be this one. The last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by the slicing blue-green hue of the future. I bathe. Calm. Breathing the air of the present but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. I'm sorry, I have such terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read. Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. That's a relief. Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into Ghost, Yuri? Oh, actually, the story isn't about ghosts at all, Snugglebot. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it after all. But remember, the poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experience in their work. They usually do more than tell simple stories or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolical compared to a ghost. Symbolically compared to a ghost. Lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn, putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. It's nothing, really. Yours was impressive, too, so... Nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yeah, of course. You know, I was really nervous about doing all this, but in the end, I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Snugglebot. Me too. Yeah, I'm gonna keep doing the best for myself here. Whew. I guess that's everyone. I glanced around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club, after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Sayori and Monica are happily chatting. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's brows furrow in frustration, meanwhile Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but I really didn't come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple of suggestions. Huh. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it, and Snugglebot did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me, I appreciate the offer, but I spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless of course I come across something particularly inspiring, which I haven't. Whoa! Shots fired! Whoa, they are getting out of hand. Somebody needs to break this up. And Snugglebot liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Oh? I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. That's not what you're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Snugglebot appreciates my advice more than he appreciates... Oh, I'm sorry, she says that more firm. Maybe you're just jealous that Snugglebot appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours. Huh? And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Oh! Is everyone okay? Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Snugglebot started showing up. Oh. Natsuki! Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you! I don't like fighting, guys. Suddenly, both girls turned towards me as if they just noticed I was standing there. Snugglebot, she's just trying to make me... I didn't read what that last piece was, I apologize. That's not true! She started it! If she could get over herself and learn to appreciate that simple writing is more effective, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point in making your poems all convoluted for no reason? The meaning should jump out at the reader, not force them to have to figure it out. Help me explain this to her, Snugglebot. Well, wait. There's a reason we have so many deep and expressive words in our languages. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and meanings the most effectively. Avoiding them is not only unnecessary, limiting yourself, it's also a waste. You understand that, right, Snugglebot? Well... How did I get dragged into this in the first place? It's not like I know anything about writing. But whomever I agree with will probably think more highly of me. So of course, that's going to be... Yuri, we're trying to get with that. Natsuki. You're right that I liked your poem. See? Wait! That's not an excuse for you to be so mean. You shouldn't pick a fight just because someone's opinion is different. That's not what happened at all! Yuri wouldn't even take my poem seriously. I understand. Yuri? You're a seriously talented writer. It's no secret that I was impressed. Well, that's... But here's the thing. No matter how simple or refined someone's writing style is, they're still putting feeling into it, and it becomes something really personal. That's why Natsuki felt threatened when you said her poem was cute. I see. I didn't notice that. I'm sorry. Aww. But Natsuki, you took it way too far. Yuri means well, and if you just told her how you felt, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. Are you kidding? That's exactly what I did! It was her that... Natsuki, it's enough. I think that's enough. You both said some things you didn't mean. Yuri apologized. Don't you think you should too? Natsuki clenched her fist. In the end, nobody has taken her side. She's trapped. She's trapped at this point, being defiant only because she can't handle the pressure. I end up even feeling bad for her. Sometimes when I'm hurt, it helps to take a walk and clear my head. Sayori, she doesn't mean to... You know what? I'm going to do that. Spare me from having to look at all your faces right now. Without warning, Natsuki snatches her own poem from the desk and storms out. On her way out, she crumples up the poem with her hand and throws it in the trash. Natsuki! She really didn't need to do that. I look across the room. Yuri has her chin buried in her hands while she stares down at her desk. I gingerly approach and sit in an adjacent chair. Everything alright? I'm so embarrassed. I can't believe I acted like that. You probably hate me now. No, Yuri! How could anyone not have gotten frustrated over being treated like that? You handled it as well as anyone could. I don't think any less of you. Well, alright, I believe you. Thanks, Snugglebot. You're too kind. I'm thankful to have you as part... I'm thankful to have you a part of this club now. It's nothing. One more thing. That one thing that Natsuki said about, I would never do anything so shameful. So... What thing did Natsuki say? Well, never mind that. I'm going to make some tea. Ah, good idea. Make enough for more than one person then, okay? Yeah. Okay, everyone. It's just about time for us to leave. How did you all feel about sharing poems? It was a lot of fun. Well, I'd say it was worth it. It was alright. Well, mostly. Snugglebot, how about you? Yeah, I'd say the same. It was a neat thing to talk about with everyone. Awesome. In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow. And maybe you'll learn something from your friends too. So your poems will turn out even better. I think to myself, did I learn a little more about the kind of poems everyone likes? With any luck, that means I can at least do a better job impressing those I want to impress. I nod to myself with newfound determination. Snugglebot! Ready to rock home? Sure, let's go. Sayori beams at me. It truly had been a while since Sayori and I have spent this much time together. I can't really say I'm not enjoying it either. Sayori? About what happened earlier. What do you mean? You know, between Yuri and Natsuki. Does that kind of thing happen often? No. That's really the first time I've seen them fight like that. I promise that they're both wonderful people. I don't hate them. Oh, you don't hate them, do you? No, I don't hate them. I just wanted your opinion, that's all. I can see why they'd make good friends with you. Whew. You know, Snugglebot, it's nice that I get to spend time with you in the club. But I think seeing you get along with everyone is what makes me the happiest. I think everyone really likes you too. That's... Every day is going to be so much fun! It looks like Sayori still hasn't caught on to the kind of situation I'm in. Sure, being friends with everyone is nice, but does it really need to stop there? We'll just have to see what the future holds, Sayori. I pat Sayori on the shoulder. I say that more to myself than to her, but it's easy to use Sayori as an internal monologue sometimes. Okay. Yeah, let's do this. Alright, so we are back to writing more poems. So we found out that Natsuki likes to be really direct with it, use simplistic words to convey her meanings, so that jumps out at them, while Sayori likes to use kind of like more of the middle ground words, where it's like she's got like the mix between the two, and then of course Yuri likes to use long convoluted words to get her point across. So already we can tell there's some tension between the girls here. There's some stuff going on. Like a lot of those poems were very indicative of what they feel like. Like we got Yuri writing the poem about the flickering light and how she's not ready to go on to the future. It sounds like she's like cracking, maybe if I had to take like a huge guess, cracking underneath the pressures of what's being expected of her. While Monica, I'm convinced that's a Peeping Tom poem, okay? That's where I'm at with it. Sayori seems like she is like too cheerful almost. Like there's got to be something wrong on why she's so cheerful, and that's what I'm worried about finding out. And then Natsuki, it feels like she's, you know, she's trying to convince people that she doesn't have to be better than what she is. Like she's using real simplistic writing, and she talked about how, you know, people around them are trying so hard to be great when they, you know, just being oneself is where she wants to land at. Anyways, that's going to do it for this episode of Doki Doki Literature Club. If you liked the video, go ahead and snuggle on up to that like button and give it a firm yet sensual click. And while you're down there, don't forget to subscribe. And let me know in the comments which one of these anime ladies you would like to try and swoon and convince to it. I know, I get it. If you're a female, that might be a little awkward. That's cool. I will see if I can find a male dating game. That way we can turn the tables on me, alright? But anyways, I look forward to seeing all of you in the next video.